Alright, hello everybody. So today we're going to have a joint meeting with Marketing Club. So it's going to be really exciting how we're collaborating. And I just want to introduce myself. My name is Cynthia. I'm the president of the Entrepreneurship Club Echo. And today Brian's going to be making a presentation for us. But before we do that, we're going to show a short video because that's how we like to start our meetings.
It baffles me how many people think that they're bigger than they actually are. I hear people say like, well, how do I get in the New York Times? Or how do I get that meeting with that CEO? And oftentimes I just say, one is better than zero. The steps it takes to actually get to the biggest places in the world. Before you get a meeting with, Zucks or Cuban or Barry Diller or whoever you're trying to have a meeting with in the business world, or you've got to have a lot of little meetings that can build up your cadence. People are always like, man, you've been on Conan and Ellen and the Today Show and CNN and Fox. Like, how do I get that? And I'm like, well, I also did 8,000 interviews, it feels like, on videos that got 1 or 19 or 137 views. And my PR people and all my managers and handlers are really pissed at me because like, why are you spending 15 minutes doing these blogs that have 6 readers, every single day, and you're passing on stuff that we're giving you to be on CNN or the New York Times? I still, even today, am as happy and sometimes even more excited to be on a podcast or video blog that's only going to reach 100 people because I'm always about depth versus width. Do you want to go wide? Do you want to go deep? I want to go deeper with my community. I want to give back to people that were fans of me. And so even today, when I have more leverage than I did 3 or 4, 5, 6 years ago to get bigger platforms, I still live under the model of one is better than zero. To me, doing these interviews is a process of the work that so many people are impatient and not willing to do. Are you willing to take 10 minutes to get 195 views? I am. I don't know who you think you are. You've not gotten the exposure yet. When you have not made your name just yet. When you're still making the climb, when you're not paying attention, because nobody else is, because 217 people watch the video, I'm grinding when you're sleeping. I did those 87s and 59s and 137s and 813 views day in and day out, day in and day out, day in and day out, and continue to. You might make a video on somebody's video show that has 89 viewers. But one of those 89 viewers may be a producer at CNN or might be the CFO of a big company that you're trying to reach. And so undervaluing just that one view. It needs to be the right view. And it's one view is a humongous mistake. It's about having the humility. It's about not saying no, you don't need to. And the one is greater than zero concept is something I'm proud that I continue to execute.
That's that video. So I'm going to say Gary Vaynerchuk is actually a media expert. He's an entrepreneur. He started a wine library like 10 years ago, sort of thing. And I definitely recommend you check this guy out. He is like real, legit. You can learn so much from him. So I just want to throw that out there.
All right. Well, thank you for the video. It's really great. So, well, welcome everybody. Let me just check if this is still working. All right, cool. Welcome Marketing Club and actual members to my presentation, Inspiring Entrepreneurship and Success. This is not only about entrepreneurship, but also to understand success as a millennial generation. We're going to take down some different steps and some ideas that came up from my perspective and experiences, and hope I can share that with you guys today, and hopefully inspire you to be something different out there in the world. So before we even step into entrepreneurship and success, we always have to think about what is entrepreneurship, right? We discussed it a little bit for anyone who came in last time for the meeting. So I like to keep it interactive, so just throw it out. What is entrepreneurship to you? Sir?
Oh, it's maybe creating something.
Creating something. So creating a business or taking an idea or something. You? So it's making money, making profits. So we're putting this together. Business, profits. What about us? Something else. For you?
Due to your passion or an idea that you have, brand it.
Beautiful. So now you said take an idea, turn it into a business, and make it into profits. Now, I took the actual definition from Wikipedia, and it's actually here: the capacity and willingness to develop, organize, and manage a business venture along with any of its risks in order to make a profit. The most obvious example of entrepreneurship is the starting of new businesses. So if you look at it, all three of you guys just put it together in one idea, right? So that is entrepreneurship essentially. So why is entrepreneurship important to you and I? Just some very basic steps. It creates job opportunities, causes economic growth, and provides strength to small businesses. When you start as a small business, you're helping increase the economy. So it's very important to actually create ideas and actually take an action to implement. We'll go in more depth about creating an idea and actually taking an action for it a little bit later on. But keep that in mind. So it's good also to take notes. I'm not saying this is a class, but it's good. There's some things good pointers that I can help you guys out. I am a guy who loves statistics, so let's take some statistics right here. So from a Bloomberg article of the first-time entrepreneurs whose businesses closed quickly, the overwhelming majority, 71%, didn't bother to try again. Look at the italics now. But the tenacious 29% who did were more likely to be successful the second, third, and even 10th time around. Keep a note of that because it's not always, you can't accomplish one thing on the first try. Do you think you can ace the quiz the first time you take a class that you don't even know what you're talking about? No. So if you think you can't do that, how can you apply that to business? You have to keep trying, build your inspiration to drive that passion. From an entrepreneur.com, which I highly recommend for anyone who is looking into any business field, because entrepreneurship is not just a business practice, it is a mindset. It's a mindset to understand your passion and what you want to drive for. Millennial, UCLA did a survey, and they said millennials, anyone born after the 90s, their surveys revealed are less interested in becoming successful entrepreneurs than baby boomers were when they were in the same age. The share of college freshmen said that becoming successful in a business of my own was essential or very important to them, dropped from 47.9% in 1977 to 41.2% in 2012. How is that important to you guys? You guys are 41.2%, of course, maybe increasing, that are driving to achieve your ideas and turn it into something successful. And that we need to also change that and go back up to beat baby boomers, because the baby boomers, those are the same people who created these big corporations now. Did you know Mark Zuckerberg is a millennial just like us? Look how he created something so simple, just your own profile and information, and turned it into one of the biggest social media type of platforms. If there was actually a population, it would actually go higher up in America. You guys know. It's a lot of people. All right. So you might be saying, okay, why, Ryan? Why? Why is this important? It's important to understand how millennials like ourselves will affect the workplace. It's not just about your ideas, because not all the time you may not have that drive to create something new, something from scratch. But when you gain experience in workplaces, it's also important as a millennial how you will change the workplace. It's because of how we were raised, along with other factors as millennials, it's hard to be confident and push your ideas forward as an entrepreneur. You may wake up one day and you're like, oh my gosh, this is probably a great idea. But then you're like, well, I mean, I don't know who to contact. I don't know what ideas I have. I don't even have the money to even create an idea like that. So how can I implement that? Well, if you take the initiative and start building that drive and get the ball rolling, things will fall into place. That's why you have to understand failures and build from them. All right, let's dig in even a little bit deeper into millennials and how important it is to us. Did you guys know by 2025, millennials will account for 75% of the global workforce, and by the next year, they will account for 36% of the American workforce. So if you study, I like to study a lot about our generation and how we work in the workplace. And if you look at, honestly, if you look around our university, especially in the student union, because we are all mostly students, look at how we interact with each other. We're always texting each other, we're always calling. And then when you compare it to the people who are more higher up and a little bit in the older generations, they're used to just calling us. But they don't understand that we have more efficient ways of communicating. And that's important that they should understand that too. And we need to also cross-train ourselves to work with the older generations as they move on to retirement. Does that make sense? Cool. I'm sure that makes sense to you guys. All right, so from a Forbes article here, there are 10 things, I saw an article, so 10 ways millennials are changing the workplace. I'll go a little bit more to explain it, but let's look at number 1. We will force companies to be transparent. Does everyone understand what transparency is in a company? A lot of companies have a lot of secrets, and transparency allows that for us to share that. I mean, we're trying to make it more public because we don't like holding secrets. What happens in Vegas happens on YouTube and Instagram because we just love doing it. We will choose corporate culture and meaningful work above everything else. I think a good life example to explain this in my perspective is that I work at ASI, student union here, and a lot of times I would choose projects or things that would help me enhance my experience as a marketing major. So for example, I held a social media campaign. For those of you who follow ASI, I did something called the Golden Eagle Giveaway, which every Friday we would announce the people who liked our page, followed us on Twitter, Instagram, and just did all that. They would win a free prize, free tickets to Disneyland, which you guys totally missed out on. If we gave out Lakers and Clippers tickets, all that, it was pretty fun. All just for liking and sharing and commenting. But what I learned from that is depending on your brand and the company, it really matters what content you put on your social media accounts. So, with that being said, we'll go to the next one. We will build a collaborative organization. Everyone likes to work in groups, right? Do you guys do that? Do you guys enjoy that? Of course, if you choose the right people, right?
Yeah.
The right people, because drama.
They force us to.
A lot of the times, you guys will practice group projects, and so in that mentality, in that mindset, we are used to always working in groups. A lot of us have big families and brothers and sisters. We always like to work together. So that's why that's a very important part. Number 4, we will make working from home the norm. As a marketing and web attendant at ASI, I can do all my work from home. I have Hootsuite, I can access Instagram on my phone, take a photo right now and get you guys 1,000 likes right now. That's how easy it is. Because technology has made it so simple for us to do work and manage things differently. So it's really important that we can do things from home. And also for the older generations, it's important for them to understand and adapt to that too, because they're so used to saying you need to be on the clock, stay in your office, don't move. Can't do it. That's why I left the office. So number 5, very, very crucial part, I think you guys should write down and also keep in mind. We will recruit based on results over degrees. Take a second to think about that. Results versus degrees. Look how many people actually applied at Casa de Ley. I mean, look, how many of you guys found parking today? Did anyone have trouble finding parking, or is it pretty much inevitable? Notice Cal State campuses, all college campuses are starting to accept more students, and college is starting to become, over time, if you guys have been noticing the news in Obama's 2-year free college, community college program, that college and a degree won't get you as much anymore. It's about getting out there, networking, getting experience, and building results. That's why I take initiatives to understand failures. My Golden Eagle giveaway that I just mentioned a little bit earlier, it was a total fail. I only reached about, 2,000 people added on our ASI account. I only reached like 100 people. And I was posting it like 3 times every day. It was constant, it was consistent. It followed all the marketing steps, but it never worked. And I had to sit there and ask why. Because it's the content that I was putting. ASI is meant to be advocates for the campus system rather than just a brand that's just saying, hey, we're giving out free stuff. Right? You don't, if you see Starbucks starting to post about McDonald's, you're like, wait, what? That doesn't make sense. That's where branding comes in. As an entrepreneur yourself, branding is important because you need to distinguish yourself, and it also applies into your own personal lives when you're out there looking for a job. You brand yourself like you brand your business. You become unique. That's what distinguishes you, especially yourself as yourself and as in the business. Number 6, we will change the meaning of FaceTime. No, not the FaceTime like the webcam that I have right there. But I'm talking about how, again, it also relates back to where to go. Making working from home the norm. With technology and how we communicate things, we have now Google Hangouts. I'm streaming this live, so make sure you put a good smile if you're ever up here and say hi to the camera because people are watching. And just how technology is improving. It's better, it's different how we communicate to different generations, especially because I have my boss texting me and he feels uncomfortable with that. With he has to understand that I'm always checking my phone every time, so he understands that. All right. Number 7, we will encourage generosity and community support. Again, it comes into how we were raised. We're so community-based. Our generation is so community-based and focused a lot on teamwork, as you see it in your classes as well. You like to work as a group, and everyone sees themselves as equal, right? You don't like to have that hierarchy type kind of business. You don't want to work with those, right? Everyone's equal. You're equal because you have a red shirt, I have a salmon shirt, I don't know. It's something like that, you know? And then number 8, we will eliminate annual performance review. Usually, I get an annual performance review from the side, but I'm not there yet to say, oh man, I hate it. But it's gonna end up like that. So instead, it could be maybe every 2 months or something. Because if you look at how I said that results over degrees, the more results you can provide, the more you feel obligated to say, hey, I can do more, maybe more. You know, I'm doing well. And then number 10. Oh no, sorry. Number 9, we will turn work into a game instead of a chore. Does anyone who's working right now in something that they're improving their skills on? Do you feel like does it work like in a way like a game instead of a chore? You feel like you need to improve yourself more and more and more. That is a millennial mindset. You have to think about that. It's not really. If you look at baby boomers, back when they were raised, they said, "I need to earn my way in." I do the hard work, I step out and everything. But for millennials, we have this mentality to think, try not to always think of it this way, but to also keep in mind of it, that we should be given things. Because of our parents and how they raised us, because at the economic state when we were being raised, we were pretty good. You know, we were still recovering, but our parents had money to help support and give us and support us in these ideas. Back then, they were kind of still recovering from depression and everything else, and they had a hard time. That's why it's a little different in mindset. You have to understand different generations. Study the baby boomers, because these are the people that are going to retire, and these are the people we'll be working with, right? And then number 10, we will level corporate hierarchies. Like I just said, no one wants that top dog, and then I'm down here. I don't like that. It's not cool. Even in ASI, there is a hierarchy in student government and stuff. But how I look at it, and like I tell them every time when we ever have meetings or board of directors meetings, I say, you guys are on the same level as me. When you build that type of workplace, because I also study work environments and how people can efficiently and strive to do their best. If you look at them in the same level in a corporate mindset, they will work just as hard as you. That'll also empower them to do something more. Right? So what does it take to be one? Andrew, would you like to read this wonderful quote by Mark Twain? Please.
Of course, sir. What does it take to be one? 20 years from now, you will be more disappointed by the things that you didn't do than by the ones you didn't. So throw off the blowlines, sail away from the safe harbors, catch the turbulence in your sails, explore, dream, and discover.
Yes. Anyways, so that's just a small quote just to inspire you. But look at the last 3: explore, dream, and discover. Did anyone watch the Super Bowl? Did anyone actually watch the commercials? I'm not talking about the Seahawks when okay, we won't go to that one. That's after the presentation. But during one of the commercials, there was a Microsoft commercial, and it was this lady who had a bus, and all she did was bought Microsoft products and gave technologies practices for at-risk students in low income schools. So think of that. She thought of an idea and she saw a problem. Students are not having the technology they need to improve themselves and be successful. What did she do? She got a bus. What else did she do? She bought some technology. Now she teaches it all around, and it changed how people. And now they're getting the skill that they would probably have spent $100 dollars. They don't have the required resources like we have here at Costa Lake because we pay tuition. But there are ways that you can provide and also solve a lot of problems. I mean, this is the world. There's always problems going on, and that's why as an entrepreneur and also as a worker, you have to understand those problems, right? So, here are some things that requires, or some things to think about when you go into an entrepreneur. A mind that is always willing to learn, move on, and accept failures. Like I said in my Golden Eagle giveaway, I did a lot of failures, and I decided I take ownership of it, and I learned from it because it's something that I have to learn from, and it's something that I can apply in the later future so I can avoid, mitigate those risks, right? Inspiration and a strong desire to solve problems critically. There's one to solve problems, but there's one to solve problems critically. When you're given a business idea or you're coming up with an idea that you want to take the next step, pause. Always pause. There's time. There's 365 days in a year. Take some time. Step back and think, okay, if I want to take this to the next step, what are some things that you need to do? Create a mind map of just some different steps to take. And I'll explain that when I get into my example of my project. Sorry. Innovative and creative, which we're going to go on a little bit deeper about that. And then, of course, the ability to receive and give critical feedback. That is basically the essentials of a team member. If you're able to receive and give critical feedback, you're obviously going to learn something, and you also help out your team members as well. That's why it's important to know that. Okay, so let's look at innovative and creative. Does anyone know what the definition or an idea of what innovative is? Anyone?
Something new. Creating something new.
Creating something new. Okay, anybody else? Like 2 more answers. Creating something new.
New and functional. It has to function.
Innovative, what I guess for me would be to
Improve on something that's already existing. Michael, what is innovative? Disrupting the industry. That's an interesting. Why did I go back? Sorry about that. Creative. Now let's go to creative. Sir, what would be creative to you? What is the definition? A definition. Making something new. Okay. Yes? Something unique. Something unique. Would you like to?
Yeah, sure. Create something from yourself or your own.
From your own mind. That's a good one. All right, now let's take it to deeper. All right. So creativity is about unleashing again, always look at that italics. Potential of the mind to conceive new ideas. Those concepts could manifest themselves in any number of ways, but most often they become something we can see, hear, smell, touch, or taste. However, creative ideas can also be thought experiments within one person's mind. So creativity is something you create in your mind. Now let's look at innovative. Innovation, or innovative, on the other hand, is completely measurable. Why? Because it's about introducing change into a relatively stable system. Stable system as in actually implementing it into the world, the real world, or whatever system that you're trying to create it for. It's also concerned with the work required to make an idea viable, to make it valid, to actually make it a material thing. So now it's like mushing your brain like, okay, how do I distinguish this? So let's do a small activity. I'm going to show you 2 videos, right? And I want you to think in your mind, what is creative, follows the creative definition, and what follows innovative, right? Remember, innovative is something to create that's viable, actually works on stable systems, and creative is something that can be thought through the mind, but it hasn't been yet. Let's watch the first video. Yes, please get some pizza.
Okay, guys, record a video.
This is it. We're on in 2 minutes.
Okay, Glass. Hang out with the flying club. Google photos of tiger beds.
You ready? You ready?
Right there. Okay, Glass. Take a picture.
That is awesome.
Okay, Glass. Record a video.
Stay delicious and hot. All right.
Google jellyfish.
So have you guys ever heard about Google Glass? No one has? Cool. So after this video and the idea of glass, where do you think that sits? Are they I think of innovative and creative as a stage. So are they at an innovative stage or are they in a creative stage? Why? Brian?
Because it's mainly because the commercial this industry is on the last word.
Wonderful. Anybody else? Why is it innovative? Why would you guys see it in an innovative stage? You look like you're about to pull a pizza that needs to.
Well, the whole video recording stuff, video recording already exists. It's not like video recording is new based on the classic audio. It's just kind of improving on it just a little bit. Like, it's like similar to a GoPro, but on top of that, you just keep it like latched onto your head. So
Definitely. So in innovative, when you think about this stage, and this is how I see it, an innovative, they're on that innovative stage is because they're actually implementing it into our lives. Because of that, other ideas are being sprung up that ultimately change it. So not only is Google Glass creating something, but there's also other companies making other things that are following similar ideas. There's the GoPro, right? It's like when the iPhone was first created. It was an MP3, a phone, a social media platform. It was like everything like you could have in the 90s, all in one thing. Like, you couldn't do it, right? So now let's look at the second video. Now that you know what the second video is.
Why are you not playing? Sorry, guys. Go back. Come on.
Look around. Technology is all around us. We use it in every aspect of our lives. It enables us to do amazing things. But what if we could go further? What if we could go beyond the screen? Where your digital world is blended with your real world. Now we can. This is the world with holograms. What will they enable us to do? New ways to visualize our work.
I have an idea for the fuel tank.
New ways to share ideas with each other.
How things going your end?
I just put the images in OneDrive.
Perfect.
More immersive ways to play. New ways to teach and learn.
So put the new trap in the place of the old one.
No.
And tighten here and here.
New ways to collaborate and explore the places we've never been.
Think of this formation. Let's take a closer look.
And new ways to create the things we imagine. Because when you change the way you see the world, you can change the world you see. This is Microsoft HoloLens.
So, why would you think this idea would be created? Right? We're not there yet. We can't. Does anyone know the idea of augmented reality? That's basically what it is. Just perceive our world right now and actually put computer graphics, like you can put a computer view on it. Look pretty hot. Right? It's something like that. You think it's so obscure, right? Like, okay, I'm gonna put glasses on and totally see a totally different world. But that's how the world is gonna change, and that's how, as you guys as entrepreneurs need to understand that. You're changing the world. So start taking radical ideas and turn it into something interesting. That's a really key part. I mean, who would have thought that would ever come up? Would you think your parents would think that this would happen? No, your parents wouldn't have thought of that, right? There's so many things that are going on, and you never know. Ideas come in and out, and there's always different things. Yeah. Yeah.
I also think that, especially in the virtual world and stuff, a lot of these things we see a lot in movies, and we've seen people to have respect between like the fiction side of like movies and stuff to like reality and fiction and like the things of the world that's like actually devastating them. Are these people the creators of these movies not creating some of these things?
Yeah. For example, has anyone saw the movie? The same guys who directed District 9, they're creating a movie called Chappie. A guy who has a robot who has artificial intelligence, the first robot. Now, where is technology kind of taking? If you are updated with technology, you kind of read a lot about it. We actually are trying to get into artificial intelligence. So that's where ideas like that spring up. Okay, I see it in the movie. How can I picture it into almost the same reality as what we do today? All right, cool. So, that being said, we'll talk a little bit about my project. I created a project, and here's my entrepreneurship experience. Created a web app called College Books. Essentially what it is that it's a way for college students to buy and sell their books at the price that they want. Keep some notes, because I'm going to ask towards the end a little bit about my thought process, so that you guys can actually think about this too when you come up with ideas, all right? So, the central problem that I was having, or that I saw, is that if you look, does everyone have a Facebook account? Everyone have the Calcita Book Exchange? Okay, how radical and how crazy is that? Like, there's someone posting about a party in a book exchange, and I was just like, no, I don't get it. Why is this happening? Why is there something not going on? Being an ASI, we have the book exchange program, but you only sell your books for like 20 days, and then it's off, because no one's gonna buy it, and you're not gonna sell if you don't have people actually use it. Does anyone know that ASI has a book exchange program? Exactly. Marketing. Marketing. So yeah, this picture right here is a screenshot in a mobile platform. So what I did was that instead of creating an app through the App Store, because it's a lot of other processing, coding, trying to get it through the App Store and not of course, and getting certificates, I thought, why not just have, thanks to technology, a website that can be resized to a mobile platform and everybody can use it. That's great. Cool. So this is the original website. Look, so you would sign in. Oh my God. You can sign up. For right now, we have it actually exclusively Calcita students, because we're still updating and figuring out other ways of how it can reach out to all CSU systems essentially in the future, maybe all of us, right? So with that, you sign in through any email you like, and you log in and remember your password, of course, it's enabled and all that. And look, I mean, this is how we did it. A new way to buy and sell your textbooks, made by students for students. Simple as that. Because I also wanted it to be very simplistic in how you use it. Because it's just selling your books. It's not a social media platform where you're just like, okay, here's my book. Yeah. Anyways, so we'll move on to the next one, which that is, that guy right there is my web developer who created this, did it in 2 days. Yeah, he's a junior in computer science. I reached out to him on Facebook, actually. There was a CS group. And I was like, hey, I have an idea to make a website /app. So whoever's interested, just message me. This guy messaged me. He was like, "Look, I'm a junior. I need some experience to do some projects. Hey, let's put it all together." So I recruited a team of about 8 people. Graphic designers, other computer science people, even the people that were kind of like, you know, when you're on a team, it's like, oh, hey, the strayers. Yeah, had those strayers too. But I also gave them something to think about and also contribute ideas. Because also as an entrepreneur, again, receiving and giving critical feedback. We also want to give good feedback and keep things idealistically simple. So the simplicity in this is that you put your book on your account here, and then you have, of course, some ideas. So you have your books. We want to make sure all your books are in one area on your profile. We have this feature called watching. So if you see a book that you like, but you don't want it for the price you want, you can click this little I button, and you can actually follow that person. And after you email them, or exchange for a couple of times, you say, hey, this is the price I was looking for. Maybe go change the price. Bam, you'll get an email to the email that you signed up for saying, hey, this person lowered the price. Go buy it right now. So now in that case, you can actually follow them. There's another one we added is your sold, which books you sold. So it shows which books, of course, on your profile, and other people's profiles, which you sold. And of course, a little favorite button, just in case you can keep a small database of all the books you keep. It's like adding it to your cart, right? Also to think about it too, when we created this, we wanted a way for students to communicate to each other, but not have so much other issues going on. For example, we were thinking of putting phone numbers, but then you have to think about privacy. Would people want to really post their phone numbers, and then all of a sudden, are you really selling your textbook, or are you really just trying to hit on that person, right? Or if you do chat rooms, that conversation can totally go off and just be like, oh, hey, so were we supposed to sell books to each other? I don't know what this is for. So you have to keep in mind, again, step back and think, okay, how is there an easy way? So instead, we just said, email. You just email me. I read emails every day. Everybody reads their emails, right? I mean, does everybody get those Casa de Ley emails that everyone hates? Like, oh, look, there's a burning card from the 10. Campus is not closed. Well, dang, thanks for telling me that the campus was closed. I'd be ecstatic right now. But that, you know, so everyone checks their emails once in a while. And of course, history. If you're also following, you also check out different books. And you said, oh man, I forgot to favorite history. Keep a track of the books that you check. Here is the very nitty-gritty part when I came up with this. I said, all right, so what is the best way for students to provide the right information to give to other students? Because you don't want to buy a book and then be like, well, that's not exactly what I was looking for. Because I need a picture and I need the ISBN and all the authors. So of course, with the asterisks, we made it required. You need the book title, author. You can add the edition, the publisher, and the publisher year, the ISBN numbers, the condition, of course. There's used, new, and messed up. I wouldn't say messed up, but it might be like an Easter egg type thing. And of course, your asking price, which was the key part of this idea, selling it to the price that you want. And one added feature, and again, I'll get into this a little more. Added features that we added courses. So if you take in Marketing 304 with Bill Titlemon, and you picked up the book that everybody uses for Marketing 304, you just put MKT space 304, and anytime you do in the search bar up top here, it would say Marketing 304 Bill Titlemon's class, all that information, because that's something that everyone needs to know. Because you might buy a book, and you're like, well, is this something that my teacher gets? And that's why we wanted to keep it that way, so it's another way for you to organize and find the book that you need. At the same time, we also wanted to add the choose file to take a photo. We've made it really easy for people to upload this through their mobile device rather than their computers, because you have to take a selfie. But that's kind of awkward. I don't know. I found it pretty hard. But if you use your mobile phone, it's really simple to use because that's what we resized. So if you took the website on your computer and you just kind of close the window, the website already resizes to a mobile platform, which is one of the key things we wanted to add on that. Because everyone uses their phone as a smartphone. Everybody has a smartphone on them, right? It's dead. It's dead. Well, it's all that. It shoes. They have external batteries. All right. So always think about that when you come up with an idea, and you solve a problem that you want to solve. Take it very simplistic and make it very simple. Do not try and stray out and add these extra features, because every time at this meeting when I was coming up with this app, people were like, "Oh, dude, we should have like an Instagram type and then put hashtags and stuff." I was like, "But then we're Instagram. Why would we need to do that for stuff?" For example, back in Marketing Club, there was a social media company that came to us called Double-Check. And I actually helped out with them in their social media, but they were trying to be a Yelp, Groupon, flash deal type business. But what failed is that, I mean, who's ever heard of the word coach? No. I didn't even know. I didn't even know what the heck that was. I was like, did you just make fun of me? Did you make fun of me? You call me a Coco? What? So you have to think about, there's so many different aspects of it, and that's why marketing and entrepreneurship go hand in hand. Because you actually have to think as an entrepreneur in your ideas, okay, what will make this unique? And then it goes into branding and advertising, how you present yourself. Honestly, how a business and how ideas forms all comes from you yourself and how you define yourself. If you look at how this, a very simplistic guy. No, that didn't make any sense. I tried to make a metaphor, but it didn't work. Anyway, so with that being said, we'll go to the next one. So when you look, this is the search feature. When you look through the search bar, you'll type something, and this was when the developer made it like the second day, but we added more features to it. But when you search it, you'll have the book. It'll show book titles. But then after that, when we added the course titles. Now if you type in key, it would show all like a certain amount of books, and then it'd say more entries for books. And then there's another section that says courses. So then you see Psych 323, Philosophy, Phil 250. So that's one of the key things we want to add. So keep in mind, you want to keep it simplistic, but add features that would benefit just a little bit. Not trying to go totally offhand. You know, if you're trying to search it and you add like a picture, of course my developers can have to do that a lot. And then I'd be like, well, I don't know how to taste this. I don't know. Again, the sky's the limit when it comes to entrepreneurship and your ideas. But you want to make sure that it's very simple. Like you always start simple and then you build off of it. Do you think Facebook in its first times was like perfect? Everybody ever heard of hello? It crashes a lot, but they're still building it, right? They're getting donations and they're building it. So it's don't think that in your ideas that you're gonna get it on the first try. It took me a long time to get this. This is like been going on for almost a year.
Yeah.
Name of the app, it's called College Girls. We wanted to call it College Girls. Why? We didn't want to say the Costa Rica Book Exchange. We wanted it to be for all college students in the long run. So always think short-term and long-term goals too. Great question. If you're going to think of the branding for yourself, you have to think, oh, is this going to be for just Costa Rica students? Think of your target audience as marketers. Also take that into consideration. Who are you trying to get to? And here's a list of all the courses. So when we added the course categories, now you can see how many people uploaded books in each different course. Nutrition 201, Nutrition Makers, Math 102, English 237. So there's an acronyms in the books. That's something an added feature that we have, which is really important for them to understand where to find the books. All right, now it's quiz time. Then you'll get more people.
There's cookies though.
There's cookies though.
There's
We'll
cookies.
give cookies.
Yeah.
So real quick, what was the ultimate problem I was trying to solve when I was using college books? Just throw it out, anybody.
What
was the ultimate problem I was trying to solve?
Students
connecting
to sell their books as simple as possible.
As simple as possible for the price they want.
Yeah.
Good. Cookie. How was I able to reach out to find someone to help me with my project? Remember, what did I do? I got a team of 8.
You requested it on Facebook on the group. You asked and see who was interested in your project.
Beautiful. So reach out. Don't feel hesitant to just go out and talk to people. I mean, I might seem weird to do this, but sometimes I'll walk around on clean kiosks around for ASL. I'll be like, oh, so what brings you over to the kiosk today? And they'll talk to me. And sometimes they'll come with they'll be willing to help you out with something because they're looking for experience. Good. Is this project just for Cal State LA, or is it scalable, marketing term, to possibly other campuses? Scalable. You already got it. All right, cool. How could this project now this is the next step for my app, and you guys can help me. How could this project raise money and awareness? Advertisements. Anything else?
Yeah, transactional fees.
Other Facebook colleges, reaching out to other colleges. Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Kickstarter would be a good one. Mr. Marketing President, how could my project raise money and awareness?
That's a very good question. Oh, I know. You can have like a party bus, go out party, and see all your friends and money and do collaboration. We have connections, with that one.
We got you.
So we can do that.
As an entrepreneur, any idea is an idea.
Oh, you can do it library part.
At the library. Yeah, a lot of times also I'll go to the book exchange for like, as a social media advertisement, I say, hey, are you tired of hearing about parties at the Cal State LA Book Exchange? Well, here's a college app, an alternative for you to buy and sell your books. So take some time to research and go out there. As for advertisements, talk to marketing club. We get some great ideas on advertisements and things like that. Right? Cool. You got it. All right, some tips to leave with today. Ultimately, I want you guys to understand: accept failure or problems along the way. Be confident in yourself, in your ideas. Always follow through with it. Turn that creativity, be innovative, and take action and actually complete something. Have it in a strategic manner. Solve problems critically. You have to think about the problem first before you start coming up with the different ideas, and then create a mind process map, or just sit with a blank piece of paper and just start writing down your ideas. How can I do this step by step with my team, for myself?
All right. Thank you.
Okay, keep your ideas simple first. Features can be added down the road. Take your time and expect the unexpected. And like I told Andrew, no idea is a bad idea. All right? No idea is a bad idea. So thank you guys for coming. And
Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah, this is a lot of good points. I also want to encourage everyone, because he's stating a really good fact that, we always, as entrepreneurs, we're going to see a lot of failures. But the good thing about being human is that you get the choice to choose one thought over another. So just always remember that. You have the power to, say, oh, I'm not going to trip about this. I'm going to think above it and be positive. Because a lot of successful people, that's how they think. They don't look too much at a $10,000 fee that they didn't even know happened because they jumped into an industry they didn't know anything about. They see it as, yeah, that happens, but I'm going to keep moving forward. I'm still going to make this business successful. So another thing that I want to share is that there's an event coming up next week. It's going to be in downtown LA. The event's called 8 Secrets of Millionaire Business Owners, and it's thrown by the National Association of Women's Business Owners. And the woman that's throwing it, her name's Carmen Rad. She's actually leading the industry of large format printing. She's making zero waste banners and working with really big companies. And yeah, it's $25. If you're interested in the link, I was gonna show it, but I could just email it to you if you guys are really interested. Just go ahead and meet me after this. But thank you all for coming out. Appreciate it. President.
Yeah, I really liked it. It was interesting.
Can I make an announcement? All right, yeah, so all marketing club people and also Echo. So we're having this great event coming on the 25th. I know Echo is also helped out in this, and marketing club and a handful of other business clubs here on campus. So basically what's going on is this fine dining and breathing going on the 25th, which is Wednesday.